listening to the Cowboys from Hell podcast.
Hey guys, we are
No, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Let's do this. We're gonna let me pour this.
I thought you were
No,
trying
I'm
to
gonna pour. I'm gonna pour. So we just want to shout out our sponsor, Butt Snorkeler, for the new gear. Check out the new hat, new sweater,
swag.
these mugs.
Just out here
Steven's hat. Show him your hat.
Snorkeling butts, dog.
We are out here butt snorkeling. Over time, this mug is gonna change, and it's actually. Oh, here we go. Face to the camera. You see that ass that's happening right now?
It's quite provocative, isn't it?
It is quite provocative, and it's also gonna lead us. First of all, shout out Butt Snorkeler. Thank you guys for your support.
Appreciate you.
Pretty cool. We get followers of people, a lot of people in Orange County because of you guys. So thank you very much. Yeah, okay, so that's our Butt Snorkeler commercial. It's like probably one of the best reads of all time. Now we
All
can
time.
get rid of that and pour some beer. I just want to say welcome back, everyone, because we've been gone. We've been on the road. Whoa.
And Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
2021's off to a
2021 is off to
very
a good
great
start. There's so much that's happened. We're supposed to start these things off with feedback from the last episode, but let's start off with the cheers.
cheers.
Supposed to make eye contact with me. Okay, that's delicious. Oh, this is from
triple
Culture
IPA.
Brewing.
Culture Brewing. It's,
Jason's girlfriend works there.
It's a pretty dope little brewery. It's
delicious.
Right off Manhattan Beach Pier. You should go check them out.
I feel like we're starting flat, and that's totally fine because we can actually come in at any time with this whole thing. But let's start with first feedback from the last episode.
Been getting a lot of that.
We have been getting a lot of that. Our last episode was unique. I decided to have the girl that I'm seeing on the podcast, and it was a lot. It was fun. We were all over the place. Steven taught us about the hot box.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. We were going to try it, but we decided against it.
It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
I took that clip from the last episode when we were talking about the hot box and put it on TikTok. So it's pretty funny being a 34 on TikTok, but there's a lot of adults on there.
How many views have we got on TikTok so far, dude?
A couple thousand, maybe 3,000.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Those are pretty big numbers
Not
comparatively.
really. Not to what the kids are putting up nowadays.
No, but compared to what we're putting up.
Compared to what we're putting up, yeah, that is big numbers.
For mid-30s, that's not bad, I guess.
No, not at all. No. So from the last episode, one of my favorite lines of one of my favorite comments that people were making was, "Holy shit, that chick's insane." She's not gonna like that, but she's not insane. I think, Aaliyah is full of energy, and this is what I coach kids sports for a living, and I always try to, anytime I'm coaching a girl, I try to make her unapologetic, because we raise our women in this world, in this society, specifically in our American society, we raise them to be very apologetic. You have to be a lady. Don't speak out of turn. Dress conservative. Act conservative the way you carry yourself. And that doesn't translate well on the court. So anytime that I know, anytime a female is good at something or assertive, what is the word that everyone uses?
Bitchy.
Exactly. And that's one, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But two, that does not make a killer athlete. And so people that we idolize in sports like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, we know these dudes don't fuck around. These men are not apologetic at all. And so I love unapologetic women.
A great example of that is Serena Williams. She always gets trouble because she always gets flack for being outspoken as a female athlete. And she goes, well, the men do it all the time.
Yes, I remember that. I remember her saying.
I remember her saying that too. When it was during when she would she yell at one of the officials or something like that and got kicked out, and she's like, "When guys do this isn't an issue."
Mm-hmm.
Oh hell yeah! When guys do that, it's like they get celebrated for it, like McEnroe. You can see that in a lot of different areas of life too, like when women are what's career oriented or driven. it feels like we don't celebrate that. I don't. I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't know if I do or don't. But
I feel like society's moving away from that because feels very antiquated. It feels like a very antiquated thought process. You know,
it is traditional, and we are probably moving away from it. But the reason I brought this up is because Aaliyah, people were like, "Damn, she's crazy." Sometimes some girls are like, "Oh my God, she's so bitchy." But like, if I may quote Vince Vaughn in Wedding Crashers, you know, something about when that redhead gets going, you know, maybe Jeremy's a little nuts.
No, I celebrate it. I love that.
I do too.
If a girl's opinionated and outspoken is able to, be articulate and say what she wants, more power to you.
It should be encouraged for
Absolutely,
sure.
The only way I'm going to stay with a chick for a long period of time is if they are stimulating. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I've said it to you before.
I'm just kidding.
Mentally stimulating. Like, eventually, the hottest chick that you know, right? The hottest chick online. You name either of those TikTok or Instagram girls I was supposed to know about.
Dude, I didn't remember a single one.
Summer
Rae.
Yeah. No. There were social media girls that I was supposed to know about that Aaliyah was like.
Yeah, you were asking me the name, and I was like, "Oh, it sounds like a porn
None
star."
of us knew because we're all in our 30s.
Grown ass men. Yeah.
But any girl that you see online or you see on TikTok or Instagram that has their ass and titties out, that is like, wow, she's hot as fuck, right? And you think about, holy shit, someone's fucking that chick, right? For sure. But more importantly, someone is not as excited about fucking that chick anymore. You look at the most beautiful women in society, they've all been cheated on. Because variety is, and maybe it's not variety, I don't know. It's Patrice O'Neal used to joke about how no pussy's as good as new pussy.
Chris Rock has a very similar joke.
Does he? Okay.
Where he goes, imagine every day you eat chicken, every day chicken. And man, every once in a while you just want some steak.
Oh my God. I mean, you can even liken it to, food is a good way to liken it because you can say, imagine if you eat Mexican food every day and then sometimes you want Italian.
Right.
And are we talking about food or are we talking about women? The reason I bring that up is because back to the stimulating thing, a girl, any hot chick, no matter how beautiful she is, I'm not saying you're going to get tired of fucking her. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that looks, the newness, that freshness, it's going to wear off.
Right.
It is going to wear off.
Right.
So what is it now that is keeping me engaged?
That's where personality comes in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so when people message us and goes, holy shit, she's a lot or something. I hate that term, that person's a lot. But when someone says, I'm like, you're damn right she is. And I fucking love that.
So
because
That's exactly how it should be. Like,
exactly.
dude, if you're not a lot, then you're nothing.
Right.
You know?
And if people want to say it like a bad thing, and if other girls, no one hates more in this world than a girl that you told, I don't want a relationship right now, and then got in a relationship with a different girl.
That's like acid on an open wound.
But ladies, if a guy ever said to you, I don't want a relationship right now, and then got into a relationship, soon thereafter, I have to tell you that a lot of the time he meant those words, but he didn't realize when he met someone, oh, wow, maybe I do. And so a lot of us get into relationships. Me and Aaliyah became exclusive pretty quickly because she felt my energy. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, this dude's in these streets flirting with every chick he meets and possibly banging a lot of the chicks that he meets. She saw it early and she's like, okay, well, I'm not going to, there's no way I can start dating a guy who's doing that. So if you want to stop, then I will pursue this. Mm-hmm. And I stopped.
Good. I'm glad. I celebrate that. Like you said to me the other day, we got to grow up at some point.
We do.
Yeah.
That's so funny. What's the quickest you have gone exclusive with a girl?
Well, for me personally, I don't carry a roster anymore. So I go exclusive pretty quick, even though I don't say it.
You don't carry a roster anymore. Wow. Good for
It's
you.
exhausting, dude. And it's expensive.
Okay. I'm so glad we got into this right now. It is exhausting,
It is.
sure, but it's not expensive.
Well,
The way that you do things
That's
might
true.
be expensive. I
That's
don't
true.
do those.
That's true.
Man, when I grew up super Mormon and religious,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like I was like so ashamed of it and hiding it all the time. Once I started being unapologetic about it, going back to the unapologetic thing, and just started being honest about it, it was so liberating. And in the same way, when I meet a chick and I go, I'm a beach volleyball coach and I fucking party all the time and surf, and I'd rather surf than work, I let girls know early, your boy is not balling. Your boy's driving an old truck.
Right.
He's wearing a Casio,
Right.
and half the clothes he gets for free. So
Yo, I
and
back
you give
that
them the
program
It's
so
called-
hard.
it's called managing expectations.
Yes. Go ahead, Jason.
I was just gonna say I've been right there. I've been in the same thing. Like, dude, look, like I drive a '98 Chevy.
Sometimes it doesn't even drive.
Most of the time, it doesn't drive. Most of the clothes I have are for free. Occasionally, we get a hat from a girlfriend, which I guess it doesn't apply. But yeah, dude, it's the same thing, man. Like, my life is my life, and I'm gonna do that exactly regardless.
If
And
you try to
like
put-
it or leave it.
If you try to put airs on and you try to uphold those, I don't know if that's what you're doing. Why is it expensive? How about you just answer that? Why is it expensive?
Because I like to go places and do stuff, go to restaurants and stuff, and I'll sit there and we'll sit and chit chat, and I'll order a nice bottle of wine, or I'll order the steak. You know what I mean?
Is it worth it?
For me, because I like to
you like to do
drink
it.
wine, and I like to,
Okay,
to
okay,
eat steak. Yeah, I mean,
Well, we eat wine. We eat steak and drink wine at my house all the time.
yeah, but what? I'm not dating you. What do you? What's
No, I'm saying
I think Aaliyah would argue that.
I'm saying it's not expensive at my house.
Because it's your house.
my
I'm not
point-
bringing dates to your house.
Look.
That could be a good idea, actually. Hold on, let's talk about.
Dude, let's go try this new restaurant called Landen's.
Listen. I might be getting on racist ground here, and I apologize
boy.
first of all. But is it kind of a black thing to show out on a date?
That's not showing out.
Is it kind of a black thing to show on a date? Because
Okay, it is,
No,
yes.
wait.
Well, no.
My first date with Aaliyah was drinks. We grabbed drinks by the pool. We both got 2 vodka Red Bulls at the pool in Vegas. It was probably a $40 tab. My first date with
$40
Kylie
tab?
was breakfast.
Why, wait, first of all,
Brunch.
why are you saying names?
I'm just talking about all my first date with Kylie was brunch. It was at Uncle Bill's in Manhattan Beach. The check was $30. My first date with Candy, when we were at a bar in Utah, it was probably $20 because it was the cheapest alcohol ever in Utah County. I'm not showing out. I am there to meet you and get to know you and to see, are you worth me showing out one day? To show out early is a big mistake in my opinion.
but I think that I have, on a baseline level, I think, and this I'm not trying to offend you. I think I have nicer taste than you do. Right? So when I go out, instead of saying, I'll just have a whiskey soda, I'll say, let me just get a
Okay, hold on.
Maker's Mark,
Hold
or
on.
I'll get something specific, something name brand, because that's what I want to
Hold
drink
on,
at the
okay.
time.
Now, my second or third date with some of these women, we bumped up a lot, right?
Right.
I remember the flight attendant from
Delta.
yes. Our second date, she was super cool. She was so nice. She was the best guest ever. She gave us a gift at our house, and I was like, okay, this girl's super cool. The second date, when she had already proved her worth, when she proved her Jason's face. No, listen, I apologize. Hey, we gotta cut that
What
out.
about
No
being
way I'm
unapologetic?
Listen,
you
you're
said
right,
what you
you're right.
said.
Listen,
Say with your
but
chest. She proved her worth.
I gotta get that other space dust IPA. when she showed she was such a great guest. She was so cool. She was awesome. You know where I took her? Barron's. Her boy dropped 150, 200 on a dinner.
Okay.
Which I do not do.
Okay.
She was a great host. She gave us gifts. She brought a bottle of wine. She brought 2 bottles of wine for us and was like, "You guys have been great hosts." I'm like, dude, who does that? Americans don't do that shit. Some do. Some, if you're raised right, you do. But
Yeah.
my point is, I do like the finer things, but I am very calculated where you said it can be expensive dating or having a roster. Let me tell you right now, it's not expensive having a roster, okay? If you manage it correctly, it can be even your roster, if you manage it correctly, might be Postmates and new stuff.
Okay, but
so let's say you get home from the date with the main.
oh my god, dude, this guy's just digging, yo.
Hey, Landon, do you want another beer, dude?
Digging.
Never, you know what? I just
No, go ahead. So the main, Lord.
Listen, all I'm saying is that having a roster doesn't have to be expensive.
It doesn't have to be, but what I'm saying is, because of the way I do things, it ends up being expensive.
I get it.
Because I'll get a hotel if I don't want to drive home at the end of the night. I'll get
hey.
huh?
Okay. I'm not. Okay. Yeah. You get. Yeah. You will.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen.
Hey, keep pass that beer my way, dude. There's a cup and
It's
a
empty.
beer.
This is gone.
I'm sick.
That explains a lot.
Let me just say this, Kate. We got to move on from this subject, but I will gladly, Aaliyah, my girlfriend right now. I shouldn't say it. My girlfriend. Listen, I will buy her. I will take her wherever she wants to go. I'll max out the Amex, okay? I have a very low credit limit, but I will max it out for her because I don't want to say she's shown her worth, but that's a really funny way to put it. But she's like, she's done the work.
I get what you mean, though.
You know what I mean?
It sounds funny to say it like that, but
Yeah.
I get exactly what you mean.
But you
Now-
can't just jump out the fucking box.
No.
Let's go to the nicest dinner that we can find. Out the box? What are we doing
That's
here?
not because I'm trying to show out on a first date. It's just because I want to go eat at a nice restaurant.
Like I said, I like eating at a nice restaurant
But-
when they deserve it.
But hear me out on this.
When they deserve it.
Listen. When a woman has a roster and you hear about it, they always tell you about stuff, and it ends up being, ooh, damn, that would be pricey. Okay, so a woman's side of it. What I'm saying is a woman's side of if a woman has a roster, they're doing it. They have a roster because they like the perks of it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. And a man has a roster. He likes the perks of it, and in order to maintain that roster, because I mean, let's be honest. Most guys, when you have a roster, you make mistakes every now and then,
Oh, 100%.
right? And you have to be able to be viewed as worth those mistakes. Okay.
Okay.
If you don't answer the phone for a few hours because
You know what? This brings up such a good subject. And we have to stop right here because you manage, your roster differently than me.
I don't have a roster.
No, I know. If you did, no, but please don't get mad at this kid. Listen,
Well,
You-
choose your words carefully.
I will. You manage your roster differently. Wherein that when I have a roster, my franchise quarterback knows they're the franchise quarterback. And my second string quarterback and third string quarterback, they know that they're the second and third string quarterback.
The most
Oh,
hilarious shit I've heard.
They
But
do
so
not-
true, though.
Yeah, no, you're true. You're right. You're
Okay,
right. You're right.
yours don't.
Because in my
Yours have no idea they're
Right.
getting traded. They're
not getting traded,
No.
but
You-
listen. I keep
listen.
the blinders on. Okay,
No, you
everybody's
and
in their own lane.
you in the front office are constantly shopping deals and they have no clue. They're in the locker
Those are
room like,
shopping
damn,
deals.
I'm killing it at this franchise right now.
Yeah, man, they think, man. They never deal with the AAA.
They have no idea, dude. They think that they are Yasiel Puig. In reality, and by the way, I think he's gay. By the way, well, that's off
Whoa,
topic.
so off
I'm
topic.
sorry. I met him recently.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you showed at the beach.
Yeah. Listen, he had COVID like the next day, and I'm like, motherfucker, what the fuck? I just posted a picture of you, bitch. Anyways, you manage your roster differently than I
used
do.
to.
You used to, man, and I used to too. I used to too. But it's maybe that right there is what this is all about.
That's that's a great point. Yeah,
Because my roster knew when you come over, one, you're coming over at 11:30 at night. Two, I already ate dinner.
So to sum it up, but what you're saying is, if you start off your first game of the season taking her out to like something
Yeah.
really nice, and your second game is like, yo, you want to go to Brothers?
Yeah, what do you-
They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
But
you see, I want to start here and work my way
that's-
up.
and it's funny, and,
Not start here and work my way down.
right? And like what you were saying on your end is like, well, if you start there, then she needs to learn to accept those off days,
That's
those
a good
off
point.
games.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But
that's a great
I'd
point,
rather
yeah.
have like, I mean, Cam and I have been dating a year. We went out, and obviously COVID has been
Yeah,
for
yeah,
nine
it's
of
totally
the
different,
nine
yeah.
of the 13 months. But
Yeah.
we went out 2 nice dinners, and they're fucking awesome. I'll never
Yeah,
forget them.
exactly.
Versus if I started that way and I was like, yo, you want me to make you a ham sandwich?
Yes,
Like, we go
motherfucking-
play that way.
Motherfucking ham
Motherfucking ham.
sandwich.
Goddamn.
But you know what? Maybe you learned something, but you're not keeping a roster anymore, so none of this matters. We're still on the first subject.
Yeah, guys. Hey, 20.
That's fine though,
Thank
but,
you.
but you know what? I think this is a great question to throw out there to people that are listening about the two different styles of managing a roster. Because for me, I do like keeping each. It's like a
Not letting them know about each other.
yeah, like a horse race where everybody's in their own lane,
No.
and it's just like, hey, yo, keep the blinders on. And you,
No.
And you got bets on all of them, or what?
Yeah, he does.
No.
Listen. This is 100% a real. This is a real life issue right here, and you have to ask yourself as a single man or a single woman, you have to ask yourself, how are you going to manage your roster, your group? Are you going to let them know about each other, or are you going to have them question and feel like they mean something? It brings up a really interesting point. So I shouldn't say names. My friend in Utah, remember Samoan White?
Yep.
Okay, we're hanging out with those two, and I'm hanging out with the Samoan guy, and we're hanging out downtown Salt Lake City, and my friend Mars goes, "Hey, let's hang out." Oh, you can leave that in. I don't give a fuck. She's cool. And she's like, "Let's hang out. I'm gonna hang out with him, and you hang out with my friend, right?" We all got fucked up. I got really fucked up, and I remember I fell asleep on her like fold-out mattress, and I woke up next to a beautiful woman,
Oh.
gorgeous.
Oh.
And I didn't do anything because I was so drunk. I woke up and I was like, "Did we hook up?" And she's like, "No." And I'm like,
Damn it.
I've never had that happen, by the way. I've never had that happen.
Dude, no way. Like the closest I've gotten to that was like sitting next to a cute girl on an airplane. That's the closest I've gotten to
her name
that.
was Hela, Hela. Anyways, so we all go to brunch the next day, but my boy M, he doesn't come. But I'm talking to Mars, and she's like, "I really don't like the way your friend."
Steven?
No.
No.
She's like, "I really don't like the way your friend talked to me," and I'm like, "Oh, was he disrespectful?" And she's like, "No, not at all."
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
she said was that they woke up in the morning and he goes, "You're so gorgeous. Oh my God, our kids would be beautiful." Because he's sitting there, and this is how he manages his roster. He tries to get every girl on his roster to fall in love with him, and then picks the one he wants. To me, that is incredibly unethical.
Unethical.
Yes,
I don't think so.
I do.
He's basically giving
I mean,
her a
does he
compliment.
No.
does he know that? Does he know? I mean, he might just want to. It's like what you're saying. You want to take girls out to nice places. Like some girls want
I
to
have some of
tell.
that beer?
Some guys want to tell girls that they're beautiful, but like it definitely doesn't come off the
No.
right way.
But
No,
I feel
no,
like,
no,
I feel
no,
like
no,
that's
no.
just a personality thing because he like gives a lot of love. So
Yeah, he does.
And I'm not gonna say I'm the same way, but I
You
do
are the
like
same
to
way.
give
You
compliments
are
where I'll be
similar.
like,
Thank
"Oh, I give compliments all the time," and it's
Okay.
it's actually sad in
This
this
is-
day and age where you got to watch your mouth when you giving compliments because somebody will be like,
Bob Marley said, "The biggest coward of a man is a man that awakens a woman's love for him with no intentions of loving her back." Something like that.
Shout out Bob.
Now, it's so funny because even though I don't do that, I am so fucking honest with the girls, especially the side pieces. They know they are side pieces. They know there's a franchise player and you're not it. You are my second string, you're my third string, and you know you are. But even in that, I still get fucked up. They still get mad. Now, this has been a long time. I'm not doing that anymore. I have done that in the past. So we're talking about my boy in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
He is
Our
like,
boy.
oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
he's like, "I love you, baby. You're gorgeous, whatever." He's saying that to 3 or 4 different girls, right? And they're
I don't know how
confused.
you could do that.
I don't either. They're confused. They don't know what's going on. They all love him. Mine, but we both deal with the same shit. That's what's so crazy about this. We both deal with girls complaining. talking shit about us, and feeling like they were fucked over.
Listen,
How in the world am I dealing with girls feeling like they're fucked over when I was so honest from the fucking beginning? That's insane.
honesty is a double-edged sword because, people always say, oh, I want honesty. Sometimes you give them that honesty and it's like, whoa, that was too honest. And it's like, well, okay, I'll keep it at what, 70%? Like the fucking computer on the Interstellar?
At the at the end of the day, the way you managed a roster, the way I managed a roster, who's to say which is better or worse? Cheers. Cheers, Jay.
Right.
This strawberry cherry beer is...
Dude, it's not bad, man, huh? Once again, shout out Culture Brewing.
It's good. So, after Aaliyah's episode, we're on the first subject, they said, you need a girl's perspective. It was so good to have a girl's perspective.
Yeah, we do.
Fuck a girl's perspective. No, I'm just kidding. Another person said, two people said it was too derogatory.
I
It was
heard
too dirty.
Somebody told me that it was borderline offensive and it was vulgar.
Dude, vulgar. It was vulgar.
It was a bit vulgar.
Life
yeah.
is vulgar. Who
Right.
gives a fuck? One of the funny, speaking of feedback from the homies, feedback from the last episode, this shook me to my core, okay?
Oh.
So, Saturday morning, I show up at 21st Street. And so all my friends meet at a street in Hermosa Beach to play volleyball. We play volleyball, we drink, we hang out, and we go home. I usually surf before I play volleyball. So I show up and I set up my stuff, and there's little kids on the court, like 15, 16-year-old kids on the court. Two of them are girls that I've coached. And she's like, hey, Coach Landen. And I'm like, what's up? And I'm like, have my surfboard. I'm going to go surfing. And she's like, I said, how's your family? She's like, my dad listens to your podcast while I'm in the car. I can't even look at you anymore.
Yeah, she's probably right, huh?
Hey, Dad, what the fuck? This is not a children's podcast, dude. What are we doing?
Dude, I
what?
post this shit on YouTube every week. It's like not for kids.
No, I actually, you know what? I salute that dad because he's getting his daughter ready for this world.
Let her know. Let her know.
No, he is.
Let her know.
Because she's going to grow up and she's going to see the Landons out there.
Oh, my God.
She's going to appreciate the Stevens out there. And
Do not shut the fuck up.
And still wonder who the Jasons are.
Yeah. You know what? That's so stupid. Shout out to my boy Rich, though, for sure, listening to this. That's hilarious. He's actually a really cool dude. Yeah, and I owe him a lot. He's done a good. This is some of the parents I work with, they'll see my style of coaching and they'll love it and they'll spread the word. So a lot of my work is word of mouth, and so thank you, Rich.
yeah,
He's
absolutely.
a good guy.
But on that subject, don't you feel like if you were exposed to certain things that you were hidden from, sheltered from as your child, don't you think like, oh, you know what? I could have done with that information a little earlier. You know what I mean?
Not really. I mean, sure, yes. I mean,
say yes and no. Like some
I just
shit,
I
some
just
shit,
can't really identify anything.
some shit, yeah, for sure, and some shit like
What? Name one.
Well, Landon, that's a little tough.
Okay, I'll give you a very broad example.
Yeah,
It's
give me an
You
example.
can tell the difference between a girl that grew up with brothers and a girl that didn't grow up with
Oh,
brothers.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because a girl that grew up with brothers, when they got to that high school
Yeah.
or early college age, she saw how they were treating or talking about the girls that they were hooking up with or whatever.
Yeah, you're right,
And
you're
so
right.
she's like, oh, I don't want to be like that, so I'm going to avoid
Okay,
these
hold on.
particular actions.
I'm so glad you brought this up because you would think that. This is so interesting. My youngest sister, I'm 34 years old, and my little sister's 18. And she's in college right now. I'm about to turn 35, and she's in college.
and me
Her
both,
freshman year, I know. Now, she's gone through a really hard heartbreak, and
Word?
trying to repair from the heartbreak, she did some stuff where I'm worried that I influenced her to do it. So I feel like she got through a breakup and was like, okay, what would Landon do? Did what I would do and was like, oh, this sucks.
So many people go through that though. Like you can't blame
Exactly.
yourself for that.
Okay,
Sure.
yeah.
That's what
You
I'm
can't
saying.
blame yourself for
Yeah.
that.
No, I'm not blaming myself, but you're right.
So many
Now,
people go through that.
You're
and like,
right. You're right.
You need to go through that, and like I feel like it's almost better if you go through that having not seen someone go through it. You're just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
this is all new. Like I only child got dropped off in California at 21.
This is
had to figure it
I'm
out.
so glad you brought that
Had
up.
to figure it out, and it was like,
I'm so glad you brought that up.
and I was a serial dater too. So like I had been through 2 relationships from 16 to 24. 2 of them.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's 9 years of my life, and then
Wow.
here we go. And it was just totally new, and I wish I would have went
Which
through
is
it.
better? a single child by himself getting dropped off in a new town, or my little sister, the youngest of 6 kids, who has all these examples and all this like opportunity to see people do it right and do it wrong, but they both struggled.
Well, and
so
well, if I had a brother, older brother, who saw me go through that, he'd probably feel bad too. But it didn't matter. I was going to go through it anyway.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
That's
what I'm saying.
But along my the point of what I was saying, your youngest sister is one thing, but your other sister is a different thing because.
Wait, you redo? What are we doing?
The camera cut off as you cut off your shirt. I don't know if it was like a glitch or just when you took off your shirt.
Because you
or
took your shirt
yeah,
off.
I think that's what I had to do.
Yeah.
I didn't take my shirt off. Thank you.
The camera was like, yo, keep that on.
Yo,
But
life rips.
Life rips, dog.
Chris Leah. I think he's uncanceled now, right?
Dude, it's hard to get uncanceled these days.
I've always liked
Oh,
it.
of course. But what I'm saying is, your other sister, she's a savage.
She is, but she didn't
And I feel
help
like
her though.
Huh?
I mean,
No.
she did help
I'm
her.
not
but-
talking about. I'm not talking about the help between the two. Your other sister being, I mean, primarily just from seeing the way you have interacted with women over the years. Yo, she's
Don't
a
give me the
savage.
reason. Just tell me what you're going to say.
No, that's all. That was
Okay.
Yeah,
Listen, this is what I'm saying to you.
she knows what she's doing. Go ahead.
Often in my life, I think. So I didn't grow up, rich as fuck. Jason, me, all of us. We weren't growing up balling, right? Some of us grew up in single family homes. Some of us grew up low income homes. And I meet rich people, and I think to myself, would that have been better? They have their own problems.
Yeah.
We've talked about so many times. For so long, I was jealous of people who grew up what I thought had it easier. And then the older I've gotten, and of course we moved here, which is a primarily a wealthier area. Dude, I think it's harder for a kid to grow up having everything handed to them and still do shit with their lives. I think that.
Hold on. I wouldn't say. My point in this whole thing is that there's no harder, easier. There is none.
It's
what
all
it is.
relative, yeah.
It is relative.
Yeah.
Because what it really comes down to is who is the person that's dealing with it. I firmly believe that I can handle. I always make the joke that like, I always make this joke. If I went to jail and got raped, I'd be like, this is a lot, I know. I'd be like, oh, that sucks, but I'd be able to move on. Like, I've been through shit in my life, and I feel like I am more equipped to deal with shit than my brothers, sisters, friends, family are. I really think that I can handle it more.
That's your character.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that character is going to develop no matter how you can.
Exactly. It wouldn't matter how I came up. Whether I came up rich or poor, it would not matter.
That's just you, man.
Exactly. And that's my point in this whole thing is that like everyone's different. We do not know. And this all came from, we were saying it was too derogatory. This is our second subject.
Yeah. Have you guys listened to all of the other episodes that we've done?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to delete the Saddled Up episodes so that it's more
Streamline.
no, I forgot.
Organized?
Coherent. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways, the last part of feedback from the last episode
Hold on, man.
35 minutes in.
is so one of my friends DM'd our account. So, you know what? And again, I have to say sorry to everybody out there that are listeners and that like. Can you hear that, by the way?
No.
On this? No. Okay, cool. So I have to apologize to everyone that we've been radio silent for 2.5 weeks. Sorry, guys. We will never do that again. Maybe we will.
It might happen.
Yeah, I know. This might be our new
Jason's
setup.
about to get busy, by the way.
So I know. God damn, I know. But one of my friends DM'd us, and he DM'd us the greatest fucking question ever.
Ooh.
He sent this question, but it's in the middle of our hiatus. So I was just been sitting on this. He said, ladies, would you rather a dude have 1,000 girls or a high number of girls or one dude?
Ooh.
Let that sink in.
Ooh.
How fucking fascinating is that question? Ladies,
Dude,
I
that's
wish-
a bit.
I wish there was a woman here so we could get her.
I've asked plenty of women.
Oh, that's,
I can come back on this real quick. Be right back.
Right. Okay. Hold on.
Now keep talking.
Okay. Can you give me the space test, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Just have her come out here for a second.
Cameo.
Oh, yes.
Get a space test, please. So, ladies and gentlemen, if anyone's wondering right now what we're doing, we are having our producer, Jason Crane's girlfriend, come to the mic right now and answer this question. Her name is Cameo. Her name is Cammy. She's a close friend of mine. I love her. She's super fun. But she'll tell us the truth.
So keep it real.
So the question is, ladies, would you rather a dude have 1,000 girls or a large number of girls on his roster or in his past, or one dude?
I wonder if we should have Jason out here for this or not.
No, they're both coming. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Come sit right here. Oh, no. Come over.
Yeah, she looks
Come
excited.
over,
Go over by Landon if you would.
Can you come here, sit right here for just 1 second.
I'm not wearing a mask.
It doesn't matter. Just
Get over
We're in the
there.
same household. It doesn't matter. Just sit right here for 1 second. Okay.
Yeah.
So, now I've asked this question to girls, and now I'm going to ask it to you. Okay.
By the way, my girlfriend.
Yes.
Cameo.
This is our producer Jason's girlfriend. Is there anything you want to say? You got to speak into the mic. Put your mouth in the mic. There you go. Is there anything is that okay? So, I'm so sorry to put you on the spot like this, okay? But this is a very important question. Now I've asked other girls, and I will share their responses later. But just real quickly, would you rather find out the guy you're dating has a crazy amount of women on his list, on his count, or he's got 10 girls and that one dude?
I'm sorry. Can you
Okay, so you're talking to the guy you're dating, right? You guys just
Yeah.
started dating.
Okay.
And you have two options. Either
Yeah.
he looks at you and he goes, "Hey, babe,
Right.
I have fucked a lot of chicks, like countless. I don't know how many."
Yeah. Okay.
Or he looks at you and goes, "I've actually only fucked like 10 or 15 chicks, but there was one guy that I experimented with a couple times."
You're talking about the guy that I'm dating.
No,
that he
yeah,
said
not,
that.
he's not talking about me.
No, not Jason. It's just
Okay.
hypothetical. So which would you rather?
I'm still not sure what the question is.
Okay, so
I feel like
1,000 guys. Like let's say some guy had
1,000 chicks,
1,000 women,
He
or
fucked
one
1,000
guy.
girls,
Or
Okay.
one guy.
but he's never been with a dude. Or you have this guy who has
Yeah.
fucked 10 chicks, but he did fuck one guy. He had one crazy night with the dude, maybe a couple nights.
Okay, so the question is,
Which would you rather? Which would you prefer to deal with?
You know what? I think they're both equally bad.
Let's not say bad. We can.
Sorry. Okay.
No, listen. Just
all right,
which
all
would you
right.
prefer?
I don't know.
Now,
Less desirable.
first of all, I'm asking. Thank you. I am asking you a question, and this is your first time on the podcast, and it's like
Yeah.
we're like throwing you into the fire. Okay.
Thank you so much.
I know.
for that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Listen, all you have to do is tell us. Okay, you're gonna have to deal with one. One, you're gonna
Okay.
be like, "Holy shit, he's a fucking slut." How many chicks? Another one, you're gonna be like, "Did he had a crazy couple nights with a dude?"
Well, here.
Which one would you rather deal with?
This is how I see it. Like one love. Like maybe
Yes.
he had that night or whatever.
Yeah.
So he like experimented.
Okay.
I think either way. I don't know.
It's a lot either way.
It's a lot
It's a
either
lot.
way,
It's a lot
but
to unpack,
I
to
don't
talk
think.
about
I
and
don't
to
But
think
you have
one.
to pick
I don't,
one.
But I have to pick one.
Yeah, pick one.
I honestly, I'd probably pick the guy that experimented one time.
With a dude.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now you're
Then-
making me feel like shit. Get the fuck out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
Thanks,
just kidding.
Cammy, for joining the podcast. It was really great having you on.
I'd rather have that, the guy that was like
I did it one
kind
time.
of experimenting
Yeah.
rather than just like getting his like rocks off with like a bunch of people.
Yeah. So you'd rather date Steven than me. Okay. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thanks
Is there
so much,
anything you'd like to
Cammy.
say?
Thank
Is there
you.
anything you'd like to say to the camera?
Bring it
before we
back.
go?
Ladies
Ladies and
bring it back to
gentlemen,
the camera.
Cammy Brown, one of my close friends. She's great. I love her. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Cammy.
Thank you. Happy to help. Yeah.
Can I ask you a huge favor? Can we drink that space test? Can we drink that space test?
The what?
The space test?
The space does.
Can we drink it?
Oh, the other beer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're, it's okay. Okay, thank you. Okay.
I'll just bring it.
Thank you.
Dude, please don't put me on camera.
No, it's okay. And we can edit.
Babe, we weren't recording.
If you want to edit that out, no, there is no right answer. We just wanted the
in.
truth. Thank
It's
you.
staying in. Absolutely.
Okay, you did a great job, by the way. You did a great job.
I like your response.
I know.
I like your response too. That was very
Okay,
very
so-
good.
So,
Now-
to
One
clarify, I have not experimented with one dude.
Hey, you
And I
for
have-
sure have.
Is it the hat? Is it the hat?
No, I'm kidding.
I celebrate that hat.
Listen,
I do.
Listen. Oh my God.
Going back on.
I just want to say,
Got a real Adam Levine vibe to it.
poor Cammy. She's like,
She was so not ready to
she
do
was
this.
not ready for this.
And she says she took an edible. She's
Yeah, I
like,
know.
what the
She
fuck
took
is going
one
on?
Yeah.
AirPod out at a time. Doink.
She's
So-
she's high. Hey, thank you, Cammy. We love you.
Cameo.
Let's go. One more round of
Cameo.
applause for our girl,
Thank
Cameo.
you so much.
Thank you so much.
I was like watching Moana.
I love Mo. I
Thank
love
you
that
so
movie.
much. Oh,
This
this one.
or
Thank
the
you.
cherry tart wit?
No, this one. Thank you.
All right, well.
I've been wanting to try the hazy. Thank you so much.
of course.
So,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen, no, don't worry. Don't. You're awesome. Thank you so much, Cammy.
Mahalo.
I mean, this is
That's what you get for staying here.
This is a gnarly. It's a gnarly question to sit here and to try to decide.
Well, think about it in the opposite way. Like, would you rather have a girl
Oh, I have
who's
to-
experimented with 1,000 guys or one girl? And my answer every time is one girl.
Yeah.
Cheers. No, well, that's interesting because I'm dealing with that right now.
Can I just say while you guys are, because you're gonna edit this out, I
No, we're
think
not.
that really truly to like hook up with someone that hasn't hooked up with like a ton of people versus someone that's maybe experimented. I'd rather, like
I get
less
it.
People
Okay.
the better. The less people, the better.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Cammy.
that's the answer. So you're about
Yeah.
the lower body count.
Cammy's about the lower body
Yeah,
count.
okay.
Yeah. That's healthier. And,
Yes, smaller
Oh, healthier,
roster
okay.
as
Now.
as we were talking about.
Now, listen.
Here, guys.
Ooh,
Thank
that's
you,
delicious.
Cammy. That is a really good beer, actually. Shout out to what's the brewery?
Culture Brewing Company. They're out of
Culture
San
Brewing
Diego, San Diego, Encinitas, and now they are on Manhattan Beach Boulevard. They have a tasting room, and Cameo works there.
It's great. Okay, so this is fucking fascinating.
It's a good question,
It is
dude.
a good question, yeah. And to me, it's personal. It's personal to me because I'm dealing with both. I'm dealing with the fact that I've been with, I don't know how many women I've slept with. It's
Slut.
I know almost probably 1,000, probably.
Or
Now I'm
We'll
dealing
beep
with
that out.
but no, I don't give a fuck. But my chick is bisexual, so she's been with multiple women.
whoa.
Aaliyah's
What?
been with multiple women.
Didn't know that.
She used to have it in her bio on TikTok, but
I don't
so-
frequent TikTok.
So she has to
Yeah.
deal with one side of the question, and I have to deal with the other side of the question.
Interesting.
Personally,
I would prefer to be on your side of the question.
for sure.
Yeah, a billion %.
But Patrice O'Neal said it. The Godfather himself. He said it himself. He said, "Ladies, do not be with a man unless he has womanized." And he's like, what I mean by that is not that he's had a few girlfriends. I mean he's treated a lot of women poorly. He has fucked a bitch outside of McDonald's in the alleyway against the trash can.
Now, that's
So important.
It is.
It's
and,
so important.
And you know what? A different way to put it is the whole phase. I feel like if you don't go through your whole, well, most people.
Yeah.
There's some people that can do without it, but if you don't go through your whole phase, dude, that whole phase, that demon, it's gonna rear its head at some point down the line. I feel like that's how people end
I
up.
100% agree.
getting divorced.
I definitely thought you were saying whole phase the whole time,
No.
but now I know
We
what
just
you
don't
mean.
hang out
And I
with black
agree.
people. Can you throw in my sweater, please? It's getting cold again.
No problem, bud. Triple A.
Triple A. Now, Jason.
No, but if you never have that whole phase, you don't know what you never
Gotta go through it,
You
dude.
never have that where you're like, I don't miss that anymore.
So, Steven,
you know?
I posed a question as a producer here, asking the question. When did you go through that whole phase?
That's
Currently?
a great question.
I would
No.
say in my late 20s, maybe the first couple years of my 30s. And you know what? It's unfortunate too because I was dating this girl and she was really good to me, but I hadn't gone through my whole phase completely. I was like 27, she was like 31.
My whole phase started when I started drinking. I didn't drink till I was like 23, 24, which also subsequently is when I was in a relationship until those times as well. And then alcohol, bars, new town, hoe phase.
Especially this new town.
No
Now,
doubt,
gentlemen,
dude.
gentlemen. Listen. The reason why the hoe phase is so important
So important.
is because I love my girlfriend, and I go around town, and you know I meet young beautiful women, and I see them, and they smile and they wink, and we talk. I was at a party recently, and there was a chick who was like, Jesus Christ, this is a tough one, right? But having gone through my hoe phase already, now I can look at that chick, and I can literally close my eyes. I can smell the smells.
Whoa.
And I can
Hot box.
I can see, I can imagine what that would be like. And you know, more importantly, I can also imagine what the feeling after she leaves would be like. And I would feel really shitty.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
great.
And so for all the reasons I used to do that, when I used to, you know, some hot chick at a party smiles at me and I used to take her home and fuck her, even though I had a girlfriend, I don't need to do that anymore.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
you're like, you know what? I'm good on
I've been
that.
there.
I'm good on
I've been
that.
there.
Yeah.
I've
I've done
texted
that.
the
I've
group of
woken up-
boys that picture before. I don't need to do it anymore.
I've woken up and felt awful. I don't need that feeling anymore.
That was months ago.
Dude, so many days. So many days ago.
I'm kidding. You know, we haven't even.
No, but the takeaway
what's our time
is
at, by the way?
you're-
We're at 47
Okay.
minutes.
takeaway is the whole phase is extremely important.
It's
really
so
is.
important.
It is.
Yeah. It's so important. All right.
so if you're out there and you're watching and you haven't been through your whole phase, yo, hoe it up, yo.
Oh, by the
Oh,
way,
now.
Just be a hoe.
by the way, Aaliyah, my girlfriend, said I'd rather have a guy who, knowing that I've had a gnarly number of chicks. She goes, I'd rather date a guy who had one dude on his roster. She said that to her fucking dad. Her dad's like, he knew. He's a very successful, older, smart man. And he was like,
Yeah, we heard on the last episode.
yeah, he's like this. He you know, she's never gonna hear this, and if she does, I'm gonna get killed. But
Oh, she's definitely gonna hear
there's so many times
dad's gonna show it to
I
her.
hung out with her and her dad. There's so many times when her dad was like he rolled his eyes.
Oh,
And then
really?
I
Wait,
would say
at
something
her or at you?
At her, and then
Oh,
I
yeah,
would
for
I
sure.
would say something, and he'd be like, look at me like, just don't. And then I'd say it, and he'd be like, he's like, clearly,
He's like,
yeah.
look, dude, I know her.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't
He's like,
do
you're not.
this."
He's like, you
not gonna
haven't
work.
gotten to where I've gotten. He's like, you don't get it yet. And I'm
Ah.
like, but you know,
That's interesting. I like that though. That's,
it is.
that's-
He's really cool. But
That's a dope dad.
cheers to that. Okay, so we need to move on to current events because
Because we're an hour in.
yeah. Okay, current events. So our current events is that today is January 5th, 2021.
Happy New Year again. My
Happy
niece's
New Year.
birthday.
Happy New Year. Whose birthday?
My niece.
Oh,
Laura.
happy birthday to your niece, man.
Oh, and Aurora's birthday. Lindsay's daughter.
Shout
Oh,
out.
yeah,
Shout
cheers.
out. Shout out
Cheers,
Lindsay's
ladies.
daughter.
Oh, Aurora, she's so funny.
Cute kid.
So the current events I put down here was new year, new me. And I feel like 2020 was so fucking brutal. This is the first time looking at social media I haven't seen any positive. This is my year. Like everyone's like, fuck this shit. Like let's and I used to think that like COVID-19 was so bad and like, fuck, this is horrible. But like, I'm almost starting to see, and we talked about this in the last episode or 2 episodes ago about people like not putting on airs. There was something good happened here. People stopped, like we all realized that life is hard. Everyone's just been so much more real.
Yeah.
People talking about their mental health issues, people
Yep.
talking about their struggle. And like the fact of the matter is we all fucking struggle and we're all having a hard time. 2021 kind of put it all on the table. I'm sorry, 2020 put it all on the table and said, hey, this fucking sucks. We
Yeah.
are all struggling.
Yeah.
Like there's no more like, when's the last time you met someone who was like, what do you do for a living?
Yeah. Fuck off.
Yeah, it's more like how are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, how are
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
doing?
I mean,
yeah.
being an Uber driver,
Yeah.
Taco Bell employee,
Yeah.
like it's hey man, you doing good?
We're all on the same
One-
level now.
I would say that 2020 like was one of the worst and best years of my entire life.
Yeah,
Dude,
same.
Like
same.
100%. Like I mean,
Same.
we all grew. I mean, got in a
Same.
relationship, all this other stuff, and figured out that all this stuff that I mean, dude. I have no reason to live here besides my work, and I lost my work, and I made it happen, and
Yeah.
I'm not the only one. A lot of the people
we
did.
all just fucking
a lot
made
of
it
people
happen.
did.
Made it happen.
and it
Cheers
showed me
to
I could
that.
do that. It showed me, but it also like
Tap it, tap
it did not suck, but it's like one of the most like I don't know. I mean, important years of my life.
Absolutely.
I just love that we were all struggling.
Everybody at the same time.
Yeah.
Globally.
Yeah,
dog.
Oh, you know those memes about when the stimulus hits, I'll have 604.
Yeah. Like, we all laughed at that.
614 the moment that stimulus
gotten
hit.
it yet?
No way.
Yeah, 614.
So both of you gotten it. I have not gotten it yet. Some
Yeah.
motherfucking
Have you done your
bullshit right now.
have you done your taxes, son?
Motherfucking. Yeah, I did my taxes.
The government don't care about you.
No, they don't
dog.
give a fuck.
No, 2020. I'll be honest with you, and I feel very selfish for saying this. I didn't have a bad 2020.
I really
had
didn't
a
either.
blast.
Dude,
I had a great time.
I made.
I had all this time from work, and I was still getting paid. I traveled a bunch. Dude, I went to Egypt, bro.
Listen.
I was in pyramids. I went to Dubai.
You got that
We
UI.
I
had
was chilling.
You got that UI.
we had a good time.
We did.
Me and Jason started a great podcast.
Oh, dude.
Absolutely.
Great.
It's been honestly, it's been a great year.
If it wasn't for 2020, I'd have never done this.
Cheers, 2020. It's been a good time.
So funny and so accurate.
Dude, never.
If Kobe Bryant didn't die last year,
Yeah.
it would have been a
Oh yeah,
great year for me.
I had some
personally.
family deaths. Those
Oh,
were really,
you-
those were really the
yeah.
only.
Same.
Those are the only bad. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. You shit. That's the only. Besides that, like, it really was.
And that
for
had nothing to
us.
do with this year. That just happened to happen.
It just
this
happened,
year.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That could have happened in 19.
Oh,
or,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
16, 17, 18.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah,
right,
it could've.
happened today.
But besides, I mean, we honestly, you look around. I have friends that have kids, and they're like, "What am I gonna fucking do?" We're lucky.
Yeah.
We really are lucky.
It just highlights gratitude. I'm all about gratitude. Just be happy.
Me too. Okay, so current events. I mean, I don't know why this is on the list, but the NBA is back, and Devin Booker called Paul George a bitch ass nigga. That's the best
The
thing.
best thing
That's
ever.
the best thing. He did.
And the fact that Steven didn't swing on you for that right there
I
means that
love
we're,
that.
In,
Listen,
we're in a safe
hey,
place.
Honestly, I could tell people I'm half black. They won't even know. But listen, it's so funny that you said you went. Devin Booker did.
No.
I know why you said that.
No. You don't know. I guarantee you. Go ahead. Tell me why you said that.
No. You tell me why you said
No.
that.
I know. Okay,
Listen,
I'm going to tell you why I think you said that. You think
No.
I said that because Devin Booker is super light-skinned black.
oh wow.
Damn,
No, I
Steven,
thought that's why you said
that's
that.
okay.
Yeah.
The only reason I asked
Okay,
that.
I mean, well, why did you ask
I was
that?
clarifying. You said Devin
So,
Booker.
listen, Devin-
I thought you said Devin Burkey. And I was like, yo, why would Devin Burkey say that?
Why would he say that?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, dude, I love Devin Burkey. I was
Devin
like, how would he
Burkey.
say that?
Listen, okay, hold on.
Gorgeous man.
For those
Gorgeous man.
for those of you that don't know,
Most
Devin Burkey is my assistant coach for my club volleyball team. He is a 6'7" Pakistani
6'6".
young man with long hair,
He's
and
mixed.
he might be a virgin. No, he's had sex.
Definitely not a virgin.
Listen,
Bottom line, he's
Moving
on,
he's
moving
a
on.
gorgeous man. Long hair, green eyes. I mean,
so you think I said the NBA is back, and Devin Booker? Sorry,
Oh shit.
it's almost unbelievable that you thought it was Devin Burkey.
I don't hear the word Devin Booker come from you at all, ever. So when I hear Devin and a B, my automatic
Listen.
reaction is to go Berkey.
Okay, go Booker. What do you think about that?
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Listen. Oh my God.
He's I
Yeah, I mean, he's cool, he's cool.
He's half black. I guess he can do that.
Who gives a fuck? I mean, look. when it comes,
here we-
hey, listen.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, when it comes to the N word, my favorite interview. You know, my favorite interview is
No, go ahead.
Samuel L. Jackson is getting interviewed for Django Unchained, and this really super white dude from Australia goes, "How did you feel about the N word being used so much?" And Samuel L. Jackson means, "What N word, neighbor?" And he's like, "No, you know the word." And he's like, "Say it." And he's like, "I'm not."
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm not going to say it." And he's like, "Say it."
Go ahead,
Say it, bro. Say it.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead. He's like, "I'm not going to say it." He's like, "Well, all right." Then ask another question. It's a bad question. He's like, "Sorry."
That's hilarious.
Listen,
And
the only reason I bring this up is because the camera caught it.
yeah,
And it's so fucking
amazing,
hilarious.
yeah.
It reminds me of Montrezl Harrell saying,
Montrezl, yeah.
I apologize. Saying bitch ass white boy. Because this is so important. I've been dating a super liberal, white, not conservative, progressive. She's half Middle Eastern, but she always is like, don't say this word or that word. My mom said, we were at dinner last week. She met my mom. And my mom
Oh,
goes,
really?
And my mom says to her, she's like asking her about my mom about herself. And she's like, I didn't even know I was a beaner until I was like 10 years old. And Aaliyah's like, did you just say beaner, right? and like my mom grew up in LA. She's half white, half Mexican.
I love your mom, by the way.
Thank you.
She's amazing.
My mom, some old Mexican dude got some lady pregnant in England and had my mom, and he bounced. And so her maiden name is actually Hernandez. And she didn't know that she was Mexican until she was like 10. And she was telling my girlfriend, she said, I didn't know I was a beaner until I was like 10 years old. But my girlfriend is so progressive, liberal, that she was like shook when she heard that. And so whether it's or I said,
we can keep
listen,
going.
No, I said, listen
Yo,
to this.
Jason, you can't
No,
say that.
listen. I said red. Hold on. I said something about Native Americans. I said red. Fuck.
Like the football team?
Like the Redskins. I said, he's a red man or something like that because we were talking about casinos, and she fucking lost it. And I'm like, look, dude, you know me. I don't give a fuck what race you are. I love everyone the same. But like these words,
simultaneously hate everyone the same.
that's true. Listen, these words to me, these words are like so meaningless. Like if someone says something, that guy's a or that guy's a I'm a quarter Mexican. I don't feel anything. I'm like, is he? But my point is that like when you date someone who's never been there, like the girl that I'm seeing has never.
Oh my God, dude, you got to start calling her your girlfriend,
Yeah,
bro.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
This
so sorry.
man don't learn.
The last episode title.
My girlfriend grew up in a very rich neighborhood, and like to her, everything is so. Don't do this, don't do that. But to me, I'm like, dude, racism is not telling a racist joke. I don't feel racism. Telling me that you don't like that guy because he's that certain race.
That's
racist.
racist.
That's
Yeah.
racist, yeah.
That's
They're-
racism.
But if you combine them, if you combine those things, it's kind of like the sexism thing. When it's like, okay, some girl who's actually been raped talking to another girl who says, "Oh, my boss told me he liked my skirt, and I feel so disgusted and ashamed." It's like,
And it's like you don't know what
you
that's
can't
like.
be on this.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not on the same fucking page as that chick. You know what? We're gonna get in trouble for this.
Yeah. You know what? I'm realizing we
guys-
incorporate rape a lot in these conversations, and we.
So
probably
before we
shouldn't.
say that word
Hey.
anymore, hey, we're just gonna take a quick thank you to our sponsors real quick.
Yes, thank you.
We got a little butt snorkeler ad coming up right now. We're gonna do a camera
Cheers.
cut. Thank you guys
Wait.
so much. We'll see you in a second.
Hey, listen. The last person to use the R word on this podcast was you. Okay,
Yes.
and it was about prison, and it was about. Look, when we take breaks, I don't know where we were. I have no idea.
You're on the right path. We're good.
Okay. Well, we're talking about racism and how
It's weird for other people who like have never been exposed.
Yes, exactly.
Like you don't need to like turn down your volume if the N word shows up on a song that was meant to be in.
No, exactly. That's 100% what I'm talking about. Let me ask you a question as a black person.
AAA.
AAA. That means actual African American. Let me ask you a question, okay? When you hear racist words about other races, do you feel uncomfortable?
Negative.
Okay. So you don't feel uncomfortable when you hear chink
Nope.
or when you hear beaner?
Nope.
Okay.
What about honky?
Nope.
That's what I'm trying. No, thank you. That's my point. Is what I don't feel uncomfortable either.
At all, man. Like I hope you feel better saying that
But
to me, thinking it would hurt me.
I think the reason
Feel
you.
better? Yeah. you
Yeah,
good?
I hope that
I
you
think the
feel better.
reason that you don't feel bad about it, or you don't feel anything, or that any of us don't feel anything, is because we are not racist. It's that
Exactly.
simple.
Yeah.
We're just not.
Like,
and so if we were, we'd be like, ooh. And that's what kind of makes me question.
Well, and I know if you were ever gonna pull that card, I've already won the argument, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's over.
yeah. What are you doing?
That's a good
Like,
point.
What are we doing here?
But then that makes me question now people that are super sensitive to it. I'm like,
They
why are you so sensitive to
they
that?
just ain't met us.
That could solve a lot of
All
problems.
right, we're moving on. We just solved racism.
Just meet
in
us.
2021. Yeah, we really solved racism.
You're welcome.
No, we really TikTok is so funny because I'm trying to use TikTok to promote
cool,
this
yeah.
podcast. No,
Be
shut
cool-
the fuck
be cool
up.
as a
To promote this
34-year-old.
no, fuck off.
Go
To
ahead.
promote this podcast, I'm trying to use TikTok, and so I get into situations where I'm like, the algorithm really, if I like something that's like pro Trump or pro Biden, boom,
Flooded.
my algorithm is all that. And so for some reason I got onto African TikTok,
Yes.
which I know. So it's Africans, but guess who they're battling against?
African American.
Black Americans.
Triple
Black
A's.
Americans.
So it's Africans versus Black Americans, and I'm on TikTok, and
it gets ugly.
I know, but it does. And I'm like, well, I'm neither of these things, so why am I watching this? There's
You're so
many
involved.
videos. There's so many videos, and I'm like, what is going on right now? It's because I liked 2 videos. But some, people get roasted all the time. Anyways, that's a whole other subject. It is fascinating to me, though.
It's hilarious. Some of the content is hilarious.
It is hilarious.
Like real Africans versus Black Americans. That content is
Now, if anyone
gold.
doesn't know, Steven's a real African.
He's a AAA.
His
right.
parents are from Ghana.
That's right. I lived in Ghana when I was a kid. I was in Ghana earlier last year.
I've
I
got to
speak the
clarify
language.
AAA because it's the funniest shit for me. My buddy, we're in small town Illinois. My buddy comes up to me. He goes, "Yo, man, I met like an actual African American the other day, like from Africa." And my Black American friend goes, "Oh, you mean a AAA?" and
you
since
mean your black friend said that?
yeah, so
Not
it's
your
okay.
African American friend.
No,
He's black.
He meant Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
you-
honestly, it's important, but this is such a complicated subject because, and we'll talk about this the next episode. If you guys tune in,
if you
Well,
haven't
we're tuning
bailed
in.
yet.
we're going to be wearing our native gowns. Okay,
So I just wear exactly what I'm wearing right now.
Yeah, it's a surprise.
I didn't know that. I'm
Yes.
so excited.
Okay, I am too. Now, it's so interesting because I'm first generation here. My dad's family came here and had us. And I am in a situation where I meet other first generations and they have accents. You get what I'm saying?
100%.
Or they
Get
speak
that.
the language
Yeah,
and I
100%.
don't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just, I've been put in a situation, and then I'm half fucking Mexican and white. I get put in a situation where I'm like, am I legit or am I not? You know what I mean? When people look at me, they have no fucking clue what I am.
No.
I look like I'm fucking, I used to work at a Brazilian restaurant. And so I have this unique perspective of it. And to me, it's so funny because in my mind, I'm like, fuck this shit. Let's move on. Let's move on. Instead of sitting here trying to go, okay, what can you say and what can I say? What can you say and what can I say? What did you mean when you said that? Let's just move on. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
So,
because at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking
I mean,
matter.
exactly. When's the last time you fucked a black girl? You know what I
Sir!
mean? Anyways,
Hey, let's move on, man.
hey, thank you. Okay, so to finish out this whole thing, the subject of the day today, and I'm gonna put my phone on silent, not silent. I'm gonna close the phone. Is someone texted me and said, it said, which guy do you want to be? Do you want to be the guy that takes her out, or do you want to be the guy that takes her, that she texts after her date? What are you doing? Now, it was a girl that sent me this question, and it's a very hey, can you just pretend like it's not happening?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Listen, it's a
Not
very
professional.
interesting question because you ask yourself, now,
Oh, hang on. Yeah,
How-
pause there.
Boys.
Within 30 seconds.
Go ahead.
really?
We've actually filled up an entire card
No.
Holy
I said we
shit.
had 16 hours.
on the audio.
Oh, on the audio.
Dude, we did it. This is the first time we ever did
We've
it.
ever
So
filled up a card.
it's good. We're gonna
That
I'm
card's
gonna end it soon, Jay.
That card's gonna be worth gold one day. Dude, that's the grill that I bought. The exact same one.
Oh, you in charcoal?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not bad. It cooks at a low temperature. I got to get a better one, but I was just telling him I bought that exact same grill the other day.
Oh, dude, Home Depot special.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like $60
my
bucks.
My buddy stayed. How much was it?
$60.
Okay, just because my buddy stayed at my house for a month, and that was my present, and I was always wondering how much it would cost.
That's funny, dude.
Um,
Yeah, but it works. You know,
I give him one more clap. We're back on to wrap it up.
Thank you. Okay, so this is what I'm going to say. Some girl asked us, She said, do you want to be the guy that takes her out on a date, or do you want to be the guy that when she gets home, she texts him, hey, what are you doing? Now, this is an interesting question because what the question really is do you want to be a dude that just fucks a bunch of chicks, or do you want to be the dude who finds a girl who's his girl until the end of the day? Now, my whole perspective on this whole thing changed this year. Earlier in 2020, this last year, earlier in 2020, I watched I've had a lot of deaths in my life. 2 family members and one of my good friends the year before. Jason has 2. You have 2. We've all experienced death in our lives. And I remember asking myself, okay, I'm watching my cousin literally die in a hospital bed. And I think, okay, do I want to be in that bed by myself? Or do I want to have someone over me, a wife, a girlfriend, and she's next to me going through it with me? It's such a fucking crazy question.
Especially when you've lived it.
Exactly. And you're going to ask yourself it over and over again.
Now, the other side of that is, do I want to put somebody else
Exactly what I was going to say, yes.
That trauma.
Exactly.
That's a hard question.
It is a hard question.
Now, going back to the original question, I've been one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I have no confirmation if I've been the other guy, but I probably have. We've all gone on dates where you're like, you know what,
dude,
that didn't go well.
The guy that is like, the guy that's taking girls out on dates, and that's putting himself out there, and that is like, I want to have a relationship. That guy is going to eventually find a relationship. Find someone that loves him.
Absolutely.
But if you stay in the mode of being the dude that she just wants to fuck, how long are you going to stay that?
Yeah.
That's not sustainable.
There's not a lot of longevity in that. I get that.
There's no longevity in that.
It's fun, but it's not long.
fun,
well,
it's fun, and it's a boost to the ego because you're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
Oh boy, didn't do it
But
for you.
it's-
Come on through.
Yeah,
Especially when you say like when you go through that experience of watching a loved one pass, it's like I know for a fact that in my situation, there's nobody else they would have rather had around them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
all you could want is to want that and actually get it.
Right.
And that's what's driving me now is that, dude, let's be honest with ourselves here. All 3 of us, we could continue to go down this road of fucking hot chicks. Every year there's a new batch coming out. You know what I mean? We could continue it. We could.
Hey, Matthew McConaughey,
We
can
can-
you relax?
All right. We can continue down that road, but I truly suspect that in 10 years, it'll get pretty lonely.
Dude,
And-
in 10 years, you're going to be married.
Oh, for sure. So are
I'll
you.
probably be married.
We'll all
Jason
be.
will probably
Yeah.
be.
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed.
Oh, for sure.
Right? It's
Yeah, and I think that's the driving factor. You know, yesterday, and we'll close with this. Yesterday, I'm sitting, I'm coaching down on the beach, and 2 of my friends are walking by, and they're both in their 50s, and they're like, "Landon, come on over." Like they live on the beach, so I sit down on his porch and we drink some beers, and one of them's single, and the other one's going, man, if I could be single again doing this and that, man, I can't believe I had such a good time, and girls and fuck this and that. He's talking shit about women, right? And I ask him, but shit, you're divorced? He's like, no, I'm still with her.
oh,
And I'm like, dude, you're so full of shit.
You don't know what
dude.
you got, dog.
Exactly. I'm like,
Or you
it's
do
not-
and you're trying to look cool, man.
It's
Like,
not. It's just you're just full of shit. Because at the end of the night, when you go to sleep, she's laying down next to you.
Oh, yeah, of
You know
course.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And the other guy, my friend Bill, is sitting there I said, Bill. I was not going to say his name, but I said Bill. He's sitting on the couch.
Nice save.
He's sitting on the couch and he's like, man. He's like, I remember my girlfriend Stephanie. He's like, fuck. He's like, she took such good care of me, blah, blah, blah. But Bill's single now. Mm-hmm. And so I think maybe not in this episode, maybe just in life in general, I think we cracked the code. Being a cowboy, riding off into the sunset alone, that's not the way to go.
I mean,
Are you going to call next tonight? I'm just saying, like a lot of our podcasts and a lot of like the way that I talk is like, be a playboy and fuck as many chicks as you can. But
no, I don't think that's what it is at all. No, I don't think that's what you're saying. at all.
I just think that I've learned in the last. If there's one thing I learned in 2020 is that I want to have that somewhere.
Right. That
Yeah.
there's a value in longevity and
Because I have
and
you, but that's
companionship.
gay.
And also, and every guy doing their thing out being that guy who chicks want to bone, you cannot tell me you're not laying in bed and never had the thought like, man, I wish I just had
Dude.
somebody who fucking liked me.
Cat Williams used
You
to
know what I
say.
mean? I know that you've had that thought because I've
comes
had
with
that thought.
age, though. That comes with age.
Cat Williams used to go, "Where are all my single people at?" And the whole crowd like, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, ain't it great to be single?" He's like, "Till you get home and you're in the kitchen, you're like,
Yeah.
Lord Jesus, please send me somebody. Please send
That's
me."
100%,
That's so
man.
accurate, though.
All right, we wrapping it up?
Yeah, we're wrapping up. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Cowboy from Hell podcast. Stephen Amakwa, Jason Crane. Thank you guys so much for
Happy
joining
New
us.
Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. And
Happy
we are
New-
not ever going to take that much time off again.
Looking for a studio.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're looking for a studio. So if you have any
looking for a
people, let us know.
Just
That
to
was
debut my
good.
new
That was
hat.
fun.
We're
That
coming to
was
the camera. I just want to give you enough up so I can debut my new hat, everybody.
I do like that hat.